Fala galera, tudo certo? Mais uma dica de Power BI, mas peraí só um pouquinho. Esse aqui vai ser um vídeo um pouco diferente. This will be my first Power BI video in English, and I want to say that it's a pleasure to have you here with me. Thank you very much. This is a recorded video, but at this moment, right now, I am on the chat with you, answering any questions you have. Be free to say anything you want that I will try to answer. If you don't know me, my name is Leonardo Karpinski, and I am a Power BI specialist and teacher from Brazil, and I have taught more than 15,000 students that speak Portuguese. And then I thought, why not put my face to the world and let everybody knows my flower shirts? I can teach you Power BI through an easy way, and I'm sure you can learn a lot with me. As this is my very first video in English, of course I can mispronounce some words, I can struggle sometimes, but don't worry. If you like the content, please let me know so I can keep recording and get better each time. This is a way I can challenge myself, and I love challenges. Okay, so let's go to the topic of this video, which is the integration between Azure Machine Learning Studio and Power BI. I'm going to show you how to create a predictive model in Azure ML and how to integrate this model, this deployed model, in Power BI. No piece of code at all. Everyone can connect this model in Power BI and start predicting values. And to do this, you don't need a premium account in Power BI. You only need a free license in Power BI, it's okay, but in the Azure ML, you need a standard license, which costs less than $10 a month. So let's cut the talking and go to the demonstration. Okay guys, so what we have here is a model, Power BI model, with the Titanic sinking. So you know, everybody knows about Titanic, and 891 passengers were in the ship. 342 survived, 549 died. Okay, so the data set is very simple. It's like this. You have the passenger ID, a flag that says 0 for died and 1 for survived. Okay, so you have here line by line, passenger by passenger, which one of them were dead or not. Okay, the passenger class 1, 2, or 3, third class, first class, and second class. The sex, male or female, the age, number of sisters and brothers, number of parents, the ticket number, how much they paid for the ticket, the fare, the cabin number, which part they embarked. Okay, so there were 3 parts. And here I have a label for the survived column. So 0 is for died, 1 is for survived. And here we have the name. Okay, so with this model here, with this data set, I built this visualization here. So we have Power BI visual here, a regular one, and here is a visual from R. Okay, so you have the code here. I can send this file for you, no problem. I can send it and you can see the code yourself. Okay, so let's see, just a brief analysis here. You have in this graph the passenger class here and the number of people that survived or died. We can see that the third class have the most quantity of people that died, okay? And the first class, the less. Also here, we can see, let me maximize, okay. We have here the class, also, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and another facet here, that is the sex, female or male, okay? And then you can see in the female side that they survived more than the male people. So just look at these numbers, you can predict, you can see the pattern for who survived and for who died. Okay, so men from third class died more than women from first class, for example, much more. Nice. So what's your objective here? Let's suppose we could fly back, we could go back to that year, and then when the person bought the ticket, we could say, oh, you were gonna die. No, you were gonna survive. Based on your features, you are going to die, you are going to survive. And then with this pattern, with this model, which is a model, okay, I can predict from 0 to 100%, which of them, which persons would die or would survive. Okay, let's go. We are going to do this by creating a model on the Azure Machine Learning Studio. And then after this, we are going to integrate to automate our predictions in Power BI. Zero code. We are not going to use any code, any kind of code here. Only drag and drop features. Okay, so you go to the browser and type studio.azureml.net. This is the website for Microsoft Azure Machine Learning Studio, the classic version, okay? If you have a Power BI account, you are ready to go here just by clicking sign in. It's all integrated, okay? And with your the same email, you can go here, click, put your password, and then you are inside Azure Machine Learning Studio. And in this tool, you can create experiments, and then each experiment is a model that you create, and then you can deploy the model with clicks only, no code, and then use by calling APIs. So in Power BI, we don't need to call the APIs because there is an integration, a new integration since December, if I'm not wrong, that already integrates Power BI and Machine Learning Studio. Very nice. That's what I'm going to show you, okay? So let's build a model very quickly here, okay? So first of all, you have to import your data here. So I have a CSV file like this, titanic.csv, that I will import here. So you go to New, Dataset. From local file, you choose the file here, which is here, Titanic, and then you click OK. I already have this file, so I'm gonna jump this. Now let's go to New, Experiment, and here you have a lot of experiments made by other people that you can see and learn. It's the best way to learn machine learning form, in my opinion. But here we are going to build a blank experiment. Click there. And then the first step is to call your model, call your dataset. Put your dataset here so you can start. Let's just change the name there. Titanic model. Titanic model. Okay. So you have here inside datasets, saved datasets, my datasets, and here are the datasets you imported. Okay? So I have all of this already. The one that I'm gonna use is this one, Titanic dataset. Okay. Here, a very nice feature is to go with the right click and then that dataset visualize. You can see here the distribution of all columns. And when you click in a column, you see here how many unique values you have, how many missing values, what's the mean, the median. Okay, so you have all statistics here already. Very nice. Power BI now has a very similar feature in Power Query, but this one I think is better than Power BI's. You go here, P class, the name, the sex, age, and so on. Okay, so a first step here to build a good model. The first step is to recognize which columns you need and which columns you can discard. Okay? This is the first step. So let me make notes here. Okay? First step, remove unnecessary columns. Okay. Second step. Okay, after this, we are going to look at the type of the columns. So for example, P class. P class here, it says it's a numeric feature. But instead, P class it identifies a category, a column that's not numeric. It is like a number here, 1, 2, 3, but 1 is for first class, 2 is for second class, and 3, third class. So this is not a numeric feature. It is a categorical feature. I have to treat as a text. It's a category, actually. So second step, edit column types. Okay. Third step is to fill or treat missing values. Okay, and then you can remove the rows, remove the columns or input values. So you have to do something with the missing values because the machine learning models are very sensitive to missing values. You have to be very careful with this. Okay, 4. It's okay. Now, after this, you can already, of course, there is a lot of steps I can make to make a good model, but we are done here, okay? And then I can create the model. Okay, let's go. So first step is to remove unnecessary columns. So here I can see which columns I need and which columns I don't need. For example, passenger ID, I don't need because it's not going to help the model to predict values. It's just an ID that identifies the persons, the passengers. P class is very important. I know that third class died more than first class. The name itself, like this, is not important, but there is a technique called feature engineering that you can extract something valuable here from other features. So for example, if I could extract this title here, this, and so on, I could create another column with this new feature that would help me to understand the pattern. Okay? But we are not going to do this here. Sex is very good. It's a very important feature. Age is important. This one I'm gonna keep. This one also. The ticket number I will not keep because there are almost 100% unique values, so it's not gonna help me. The fare I'm gonna keep. Cabin, there are too many missing values. Okay? Too many missing values. So I cannot input all these values. It's too much. There are too many. Embarked, I'm going to keep, and survived, of course, is the answer that it's something that is the feature that I have to answer. I have to say to the model, you have to recognize the pattern for this particular feature. So it's the most important, actually. So let's go. So the first step here is to find what we call select columns. Select columns. So it's this one, okay? This component here, you drag and drop here. And then you connect this step to this step. So now they are connected. Which means that the data that's here is going to pass to here, okay? And then I have, of course, to select the columns. So how do I do this? I go here in the launch column selector. Click there. And here we are going to drag to the right side the columns that we want. So I want P class, I want the sex, age, this one, fare, this one, and this one. And then with Ctrl, I hold Ctrl, go to there, to the right. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, next step is to edit metadata. Oh, now it's nice to run this block here by right-clicking and then go to Run Selected. So it's gonna run, and already you have the data set with less columns. You can see it here with the right-click after it runs, results dataset, visualize. So here you see that we have only 8 columns now, the columns that we want. So now let's change the column types. P class is going to be categorical, survived also categorical, and the other ones are, let me see, okay, embarked also because it's like a string feature, and we do not keep as a string feature if these values are categoricals, okay? So we change to categorical even if the value here is like a string feature. You keep string if you want to make any kind of extraction in the text, like you want to understand the semantics of the text. Okay, then you keep it as a string. Otherwise, you make it categorical. What else? Sex is categorical as well. Okay, so let's go. This component is called edit metadata. Oops. Edit metadata. You drag and drop here, you connect one to the other, and here you select the columns you want to convert to categories. It's P-class, sex, embarked, and survived. So numbers in the left side, categories in the right side. Okay, that's it. Yes, perfect. And here you have to change categorical, make categorical. That's all. Now you can run selected, right click, run selected, and we are gonna see that the distribution changes, and it's better to see when it's category. Let's go here, right click, visualize, and for example, go to survived, okay? And then we can see the quantity of survived and died people. We can compare here, for example, with P-class. Look. So we have here a matrix showing us that 0, which is who died, is greater in the third class. Okay? And we have two new values here for the survived label, for the survived column, which is not good. Here we can see there is an empty value. We have to treat, in this case, we have to remove this line, this row, because it's not going to help us. It's not going to help the model predict values. Okay? In the other columns, like age, we can predict these values. We can input these values with the median, or maybe with interpolation, or something like that. Okay? We are going to use a feature here called, I forgot the name, we're going to see mice. Mice is like mice Azure machine learning. Mice stands for mice. I forgot what it stands for, mice, which means, let's see, let's find together. Clean missing data, mice. What is mice? Okay, here. Mice is multiple imputation by chained equations. Okay. So it's going to input values through some code here. It's done. The code is done. We don't have to understand the code itself. Just use it. Let's go. The next step is to clean missing data. Clean missing data. Clean missing data. It's down there. Here. You drag and drop here. You do this, and now we are going to clean this missing data. So we are going to do two steps. So the features that are missing and it's not the survived feature, we are going to input. The other step that I'm going to do later is to remove the rows from survived blank. Here we are going to launch the column selector, and then by name here we are going to keep only the columns that have missing values, which I know that are age and and embarked. These are the only two columns that have missing values. You have to go there column by column and see which of the columns have blank values, missing values. These two have, and we are going to use for these two columns here the replace with mice option. Where? The first one, replace using mice. That's all. You can go to the right click, with the right click and run selected. Now, after this, we are going to see that age that does not have any missing values anymore, and also the embarked feature does not have any missing value as well. Okay, right click and go to clean dataset, visualize. Done. Let's see. Which row do you think here had the missing value inputted? This one, okay? So it's decimal number because it's an imputation made by an interpolation. So it's okay. You don't need to worry about this. So this value here is was inputted, this one also, and so on. And in the in the embarked column, embark feature, you don't have any missing values anymore. Okay, that's fine. Now let's remove these rows here, these 2 rows from survived that have blank values. So let's go. You can copy and paste this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Connect this side. Forget about the right side, it's another option. Don't worry about it. Here, you go to Launch Column Selector and choose only survived. Like this, survived. Okay, okay. And then you, in the cleaning mode, you change here to remove entire row. Do not remove the column, otherwise you are done with the model. You made it everything wrong. Remove entire row, and then you can run selected. Okay, let's wait and see if all columns, all rows from this column were removed. Right click, go to visualize, and we can see, I remember we had 891 values, rows. Now we have 889, 2 less. It's okay. Now let's go to the modeling part. Let's first split the data so you can train 70%, for example, and test the other 30%. How do we do this? Split model. Split data, you connect the left side here, and then you can choose here what's the fraction of rows that goes to the left side, to the one side, and the fraction that goes to the second side, the right side. So if I put here 70%, like this, there will be 70% of data here and 30% of data here, split in a randomized way. After this, we go to the component called train model. Connect this one here, and then we are going to train with 70% of data, which comes from here. So I put here. And this component here asks for another part here. There is another part here that you are going to connect the model itself. Okay, so we are going to choose from the type of models we can choose, which one we want to use. I know that this model is a 2-class model. I have 2 options, died or survived, 0, 1. So if you type here 2 class, it's going to show only the models that are supposed to be used with 2-class problems. Okay, so you can choose anyone here you want. You can test different models here. I'm going to choose decision forest, and then drag and drop here. So you connect this part to this, and then you go to the training, to the testing part, sorry. So you train it here, and now you're gonna test with the other 30%. The test component is called score model. Score model, you put it here, and then look at this. You are gonna connect the trained model, the model is already trained here, to this part, and the test part of the data, the 30% of the data, which comes from here, you are going to connect here. So look at this. You have here 70% of data here. Okay, so the model is trained with 70% of the rows, and 30% you're using here to test the model, to see if the model is good or not, if the metrics are okay or not. Okay. Now you choose the last step, which is evaluate model. Evaluate model. And you connect it here. It's just a summarization of the metrics, okay? It's going to summarize all metrics and show here in a confusion matrix, which is easier to read. And let's run. Right click, run selected. Sorry, I forgot something very important, which is to tell the model what column is the label column. Which column do you want to predict? Here we have to specify that is the survived column. Survived feature here is what it's called the label column. So launch column selector in this component here and choose survived. You can type here survived. Okay? So now the model knows which column you want to predict. Press OK, and then now you can run. Let's go. Let's wait. It's going to take 1 or 2 minutes to run, and then we come back. Okay, it's done. Now you can check the metrics. Let's go to evaluate model with the right click, and then evaluation results, visualize. Okay, there is a curve here that I'm not going to explain, but this matrix here is very nice. So the first thing, you can see here, you don't have here the number of rows. But let's go first to this step here, score model, okay? So I can explain better what the model does. So you go here with the right click in the score model and visualize. So we had, remember, we had 8 columns. And the model gives us 2 more columns. So there is 10 columns here. And the model gave us these 2 columns here. Scored labels and scored probabilities. And here we have only 30% of the rows, 267. And then we can check the model precision and all metrics here, comparing the survived column, which is the column, the historical column, which really happened. So this person here died, this survived, this one survived, and so on. And here are the model results. So for example, the model here is correct. The model here is correct because 0 equals to 0, 1 equals to 1. Here, it's wrong. The model here considered that this person died, but he survived. He or she survived. And how do you know when it's 0 or 1? By these probabilities here. Actually, the model itself gives us probabilities. And then we translate these probabilities into decisions. 0 or 1 in this case. So the split portion is 50%. If we have 50% or less, it's going to put 0. If we have 50% or more than this, until 100%, it goes to 1, survived. Okay, so for example, here we have 12%. So the result is 0, but it's wrong. So the evaluate model, that's the next step, collects all these values here and compare the wrong and the right ones. So that's what we are going to show now. If we go here, evaluate model, it consolidates these metrics here by showing us this confusion matrix. That's the name of this, okay? So these are the right guesses, the right predictions, this and this. And these are the wrong ones, okay? The number of true positives and true negatives divided by all rows give us the accuracy, which is okay for this test, almost 80% of accuracy. Close it, okay? I'm not gonna explain here the other metrics, not the case now. Let's suppose I'm done with this model, it's okay, it's ready to go to production, and I can deploy to use in another place, like Power BI. So I go here in the Setup Web Servicing and Predictive Web Servicing. Now it's gonna translate this model into a predictive model, and then later I can deploy the web service. I just want to make something here, which is the following. Let me show you. So now it created another tab here. Okay, so the training experiment, no, I don't want. The training experiment is what we made until now, and the predictive experiment is how you want to show this, how you want to show the deployed model to the web. Okay, so you can make changes here that will not affect the model, but are gonna affect the input values you want to put and the output values. If I keep like this, without any changes, it's gonna ask for a survived column. But I don't have a survived column in the new values. I want to predict the survived columns. So I can go here and like this. Let's go to, like this. Let me copy and paste this. Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. I'm gonna place this here and I will change the order here. I will put this component to this one and this to this one. Okay, like this. So when the web service input values come here, I don't want to inform to pass the survived column because I don't have it. So in this select columns here, I can launch column selector and I can say I don't want survived, but the other ones I want. Survived, I don't want. So I have every single columns except survived, which is the column that I want to predict for new values. Okay? And then the web service input will not need to have the survived column inside it, because here in this step, survived column is already gone. In the end, the same thing I'm gonna make here is the following. I'm gonna put select columns in dataset component there, because I want to give to the web service output only the features, only the predictions. I don't need to pass all columns again, correct? So I'm gonna connect this one to this and this one to this. And here, in this component here, I'm gonna keep only all columns, no column. Let me remove everyone. Go out, go out. Go out, go out. Here, here. Scored labels and scored probabilities. If I want to go with passenger ID also, just to make sure it's the same person, it's okay. So I will export the model, the prediction, will export only these 3 columns. Okay, save it. And then you run. You are running now the predictive experiment and not the training experiment, because we made these 2 changes in the select columns component. And after this, after running the predictive experiment, we can deploy. Okay, it's not good, not good, not good. What happened here? Okay, so I forgot to remove the... Here I already deleted, not selected, the survived column. And here, let's see what happened. Launch column select. Let me put here the mouse. No. Let me see. Survived is not there already, so you have to remove it. Okay. Okay. And now we can run again. Now it's gonna work. Oh, of course. Let's go. It's okay. Here another important part. In this edit metadata, remember we removed rows from the survived column. We don't have survived column here in the predictive experiment. So I have to go here and also remove survived from here. Okay. And we have something also in the clean missing data, right? Let me see. Clean missing data, but I don't think it's gonna have any problems here. Let's see. Let's try again. Run. Iterative process. It's normal. Let's see. It's running here. Done. Apply transformation. Okay. Another mistake. This transformation here is where we clean the missing data from survived column. We don't have survived column. You can see here from this details here, okay? So just, let's go with this. Remove this step here, delete, and also this step here, which is the transformation, delete. And here we connect to there. So everything that we made in the training experiment with the survived column has to be removed here in the predictive experiment because we don't have survived column anymore. Survived column is going to be the output. It's going to be the feature that we want to predict. Fine. Now let's go and run. Let's see. I forgot this. Sorry about this. These were not supposed to happen, but it happened. Let's see now. Okay. Okay. Oops. Here, what happened here? Launch column selector. The passenger ID I don't have. Okay, I don't have passenger ID. No problems. Let's just discard passenger ID. I just discarded to give me the output without the passenger ID anymore. No problems at all. Now it's done. Finished running, okay? So you have the predictive experiment, and now we are gonna deploy. Click here, deploy web service, and let's wait. It's gonna create a web link, which I can use calling APIs. So I have here the API key. I'm not gonna explain the inside of this deployed module, but what I want to show you is the following. If I go now to Power BI, let's go to Power BI, and I'm gonna import here another table with new values to predict, okay? Let's suppose 3 more people entered the Titanic, and we want to predict, based on the features, if they're gonna survive or not. Let's go and get data. Get data from CSV. And this data is in this file here, Titanic new data. Open. And let's go to transform data. Transform data. So these are the three people, Leonardo Karpinski, myself, Rose, and Jack from the movie. And here are the features, male, female, male. The age, I'm not 32 anymore, I'm older. And all other ones, okay? And the last column that I want to include here is survived. I want to know if they are gonna survive or not. And then in Power BI, I can use something new, which is the integration between AI features, AI tools, and Power BI, which I can find here in the file, go to File, Arquivo in Portuguese, Options, Options. And then go to Preview Features and mark this one, AI Insights Function Browser. Okay, okay, you have to close Power BI and open it again. I just close and apply, and now let's close and open again. I'll be back. Then let's go to Power Query again, edit queries, and then you can see here in the Titanic new data, clicking there, we have here the AI Insights now. And we are gonna use this Azure Machine Learning, okay? But then we have to sign in with the same account, which is this one, with the password. Connect. And then it's supposed to show us the deployed models, but it's telling us that there is no deployed model in your account. Why? Because we have to use a paid version of Machine Learning Studio, which is cheap, but it's a paid version. It's $9.90, similar to the Pro license, okay? Let's go here back to Machine Learning Studio. So in order to integrate Power BI with Azure ML, you must have a subscription on Azure, and you have to create a workspace inside Azure. So let me open here another window with the website here for Machine Learning Studio. and click here, sign up here, just to show you that you have to go back to this side here, to the enterprise grade, sorry. And then you have to create a workspace, but you must have an Azure subscription, okay? When you create a workspace here, you go to the Azure portal, you go here to the documentation, and then you can go to the Azure portal and create your resource there. So let's go, let's do this. Okay, let's go to the Azure portal, portal.azure.com. It's the same account if you have ways to build the resource, otherwise you have to call your IT, okay? Go here to create a resource, and then you type here Machine Learning Studio. Let's see. Machine Learning Studio Classic Workspace, that's it. We want to create a workspace to the Machine Learning Studio. Let's create here. Let's call it Azure ML. The subscription, it's this one. Let's create another resource group, Azure ML Studio. Okay. Okay here. Okay there. Pricing, standard. Yes, the standard pricing. That's the only one. We can create another web service plan. And here, what's the problem? Already exists. Okay, so let's change here to Azure ML Studio Storage. No? Already exists. How? Okay. A new plan here, and the pricing, let's choose the free one, the free dev test. Let's choose this one, okay? And let's create. Now we are creating another workspace that we can change in the Machine Learning Studio portal. Let's wait. Okay, now it's created. This step created these 3 resources here, which is a workspace, a service plan, and a storage account, okay? And then we go back to Machine Learning Studio, press F5 to refresh the page, and let's change here the workspace. Look, we have now 2 workspaces, the free version and the standard version. But we don't need to do everything again. We can copy the model between these 2 workspaces. It's easier, okay? Don't worry. So we go back there in the free workspace, and let's copy the predictive model and the training model to the other workspace. Just by clicking here and here, these are the predictive and the predictive and the training model. And then you go to, it's one by one, okay. Copy to workspace, Azure ML, okay. I want to copy also this one. Copy to workspace, Azure ML, okay. It's copying just the deployed web service itself, then we have to create again. But it's the easiest part. Let's wait. Okay, fine, dismiss, and change workspace here again. Let's go. We are almost done. Now it's the easiest part. We go here to the predictive model in the new workspace and run first. After running, we go to deploy. Then it's all done. Okay, let's click here, deploy web service, and then you have to go here, deploy web service, new preview. Okay, click there. Let's see what happens. Preparing to deploy web service. Deploy, let's call it Titanic model prediction. Let's change this, just predictions. Okay, deploy. Okay, here my plan, my Azure ML plan. Deploy. So remember that Azure created for us the storage account and the price plan account. So here, where they are used. Processing, let's wait a bit. Okay, and now it's done. Let's go to Power BI and let's find our model there, finally. Let's see here if I have the Azure Machine Learning, if it shows here for us. Not yet. But here is a cache problem. Just go cancel and then data source settings. And in this global permissions, you clean these permissions here. So you have to log in again. Click there, let's sign in. Now it's going to show. Believe me, now it's going to work. Okay, connect. Let's see. Yes, it's there. Titanic model predictions, the name we gave. And look at this. As I have the same column names, it already mapped correctly. So I have here the model name, which I used there in the Azure ML, and here the column name. So I map these columns. It already did this for us. Go there, everything is working. It seems that's working. Let's click OK, and let's see what happens. Another step is created here in the steps in Power BI. And now we expand this column. Let's see. Let's uncheck this and let's click OK. And it's done. These are the predictions that the model made for these 3 rows. Very fast. So imagine you have this integrated with your model, and each time you have new records, these records are automatically scored, are automatically classified as, for example, 0 or 1 or anything you want. You can create models to predict numbers, which is a regression model, or you can predict categories, which is a classification model. In this case, we have a classification model. So let me change here to number, whole number. I have here a Brazilian system, so I need to go in other way. I have to change this, change type, using locale. And I have to simulate I am in the US. I want a whole number, locale is English, whatever English, I think. United States, okay. No, it's not, sorry, it's not whole number, it's decimal number. Let's change here in the decimal number. Now it's gonna work, okay. And scored labels is whole number. So Leonardo, myself, I have 12% of chances to survive. Rose survived 100%, which is it's true. And Jack died as well. Now you can close and apply and use this data in a new analysis here by calling these labels, by calling these features, okay? Very fast, everything works here. If I put new values there, new rows in this document and refresh here, all these new rows will be predicted. I will predict if they survived or not in a very fast way. Nice, no code at all. So this was my first Power BI video in English. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, please comment below so I can keep recording more videos and you can learn more Power BI. See you in the next video.